Welcome to the Suzuka round of the Zero Championship. We have a chock-full grid today for the demanding Suzuka Grand Prix track, and the title is coming down to the wire. We have some contenders. We have some non-contenders at this point, like Magasevich heading out onto the track. Currently one of the contenders in the Silver Cup, but not the overall championship, although he has proven to be a race winner in the Wednesday series this season. Also heading out there is Mark Minahan. Behind him is James Gill, and then Duve Markovic. The two Gemini GT cars and the Porsche for Artemis Sport on track. Suzuka is a demanding track and one of the historic tracks. A big part of course, Formula One history in Asia. Basically, it is the standout track in Asia. Granted, you've got some other great tracks like Sepang and of course Fuji, pardon me. But Suzuka is definitely the one that draws the attention. A lot of famous corners here, challenges the driver in a high-speed capacity, a grip capacity, and a racecraft capacity. Wide enough track that you have some passing opportunities, and I'm really looking forward to this race. Wesley Stokes will be starting from P3 for the Falcon Autosports team. In the number 4 Mercedes, he's definitely one of the championship contenders. I think it's really him, the absent Ben Schwarry, Martin Lauer, and Alex Hayes who are fighting specifically over that title. One of two drivers who could bring the title to Mercedes, along with Hayes and the Raptora racing team. Alright, warm-up is done, and we're going to head to the grid shortly. Pole sitter will be Martin Lauer for the Dynamo Lynx team. He is in the Audi R8. The Audis have been very, very strong here at this track, but it's not an all Audi thing. You can see a Mercedes on the front row. That's Hayes. We remarked on Wesley Stokes starting from P3, but after that, it's a lot of Audis. Minahan in the mix. Lauer's teammate Dean Reimer, Stefan Gervais for Gemini's in there. We've got McLarens, we've got Porsches in the grid, as well as a Nissan facing its hometown crowd, and a Corvette of Mark Labzul, who will be the last one here to join the grid. Corvette of Mark Labzul for Spitfire Racers. The entry into corner 1 can be very, very interesting. There's a lot of different possible lines in there. We ride on board with Mark Labzul here at the start. You can see the starting grid, the 12 cars along the side there. And let's kick this off. Here we go at Suzuka. Looks like a pretty solid start by Martin Lauer. Looks like he's going to keep the lead. Mike Magasevich is dicing up through the pack in his Mercedes there, the green Mercedes. Rick Martell's McLaren is off the track, and it looks like it is Lauer from Alex Hayes and Wesley Stokes at the front, followed by Gervais, Minahan, and Reimers, Markovic, Magasevich, Gill, and Klapzul rounding off the top 10. It looks like perhaps Grant Patolo in the Nissan might have gone off track as well. We did not see that, but he has slipped back into 11th place. Battles on early here as Gervais is trying to mix it in with the two Mercedes ahead of him. You can see it's a train of 3 Audis, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Right behind the Mercedes is with an Audi in the lead. Markovic and Magasevich swapping places in a battle for 7th place there between the Mercedes and the Porsche. Is on it. It looks like James Gill has also gotten past Markovic along with Magasevich. They are now 7th and 8th place. Looks like Gill's going to pick up Magasevich, and that Audi is coming through the grid nicely for the Australian James Gill. But Magasevich is not giving up. That Mercedes has a lot of grunt and potential power, and we ride on board with the Gemini GT Audi of James Gill, one of 3 Gemini cars currently running in the top 8. Mark Minahan and Stefan Gervais are the other 2. He gets in the inside of Magasevich, and it looks like he's got it done. No, he goes wide. He goes very wide. Magasevich is going to get back through. Markovic is going to get through. Klapzul's going to get back through. Martell is on his tail. Grant Patolo has slipped to the back of the pack in the Nissan. So some problems for the Renmax team Nissan. It is running at the back of the pack. This track is important to Nissan. It's their home race. So to have their car running in last place has got to be worrisome for the Red Max team. But, like I said, this is a track that has a lot of passing opportunity, a lot of opportunity for mistakes. It's a very technical, demanding circuit. Dean Reimers is all over the back end of fellow Australian Mark Minahan. A lot of pride between the Aussies in battling for position. Dule Markovic is up on Mike Magasevic's tail now, along with Mark Klapzul, the two Europeans, the Serbian Markovic, and the Dutchman Klapzul in 8th and 9th place. Lone representatives for Porsche on this one. And Markovic has gotten a little bit of grass, and he is off. Klapzul is through. Martel is through. Gill is through. And Patolo is through. That's going to drop Markovic to the back of the pack. Markovic is the Silver Cup leader entering into this race. He's been having a fantastic season. So that is a big moment right there. Top Silver Cup car at the moment is Stefan Gervais in 4th place. Dean Reimers is off the track. He is dropping like a stone right to the back of the pack. So another mistake there. Magasevich up to 6th place ahead of Klapzul. And looks like Klapzul actually got him in the 7th. Klapzul, Martel, Gill, and Patolo in the top 10. Reimers is dropping very far back. He has definitely had a serious incident. And Mark Klapzul may have just given a little bit of a hard ride to Mike Magasevich and spun him around. The Mercedes is backwards and out of the points. Klapzul is up into 6th place. I'm sure the race stewards may have a look at that, though. The Corvette did not look like it got a clean pass there. He's now got Martel, Patolo, Markovic, and Gill rounding off the top 10. Reimers and Magasevich are at the back. Looks like Magasevich just was assisted. We didn't see what happened to Dean Reimers, but he was running in a very solid 6th place. By the way, is 6th place cursed? Reimers, Magasevich. We'll see if Klapzul ends up going backwards. And of course, he may be staring at a penalty even. Grant Patolo is the man we ride on board with now in the Nissan. He is on the tail of Rick Martel's McLaren. And up ahead of him, it is the Corvette of Mark Klapzul that we were just talking about. The Nissan is charged, making some ground now. It's got significant grunt advantage over anything that's not a Mercedes. Probably actually the Mercedes as well. So it can make some passes stick, but it's got to find the right area. Wesley Stokes is on the back of Alex Hayes. They have not managed to keep up, though, with the Audi of Martin Lauer. Audi looking super strong at the moment with 3 cars in the top 5. But James Gill and Dean Reimers have run into trouble and are back down in 10th and 11th place. Mark Minahan has gotten past Stefan Gervais at some point into 4th place in the battle of the Gemini cars. Gemini currently in 4th, 5th, and 10th. Very solid effort from them to have all 3 cars in the points. In fact, possibly the only team to have all 3 cars in the point. Oh no, Martel and Hayes. The team we keep forgetting is a team because they're a mixed team with Mercedes and McLaren. Oh, Rick Martel goes off. Grant Patolo is going to go through into 7th place. And Markovic and Gill are going to close up on the back of him as well. Wesley Stokes is still looking for a way around Alex Hayes, and it is not coming to him. Let's see if he can get there. Hayes getting a little bit wide in the corner there. Definitely a problem there if he keeps doing that. Mike Magasevich is the man at the back, currently out of nowhere right now. Silver Cup standings, it is Gervais from Klapzul and Markovic, who has come up to 3rd place after struggling for a while there. I apologize for the lackluster feed we are getting right now. Hopefully it will clear up as the race persists. Stokes still looking for a way around Wesley or Alex Hayes, and we ride with James Gill, who's riding up on the back of Dule Markovic, and we know that that Audi R8 that he is driving is capable of more. As his teammates run in the top 5. Stokes still looking for a way around the BWT pink Mercedes of Alex Hayes, but so far nothing has been coming. These two, of course, are massive rivals in the championship. We said that them, along with Martin Lauer and Ben Schwari, definitely make up that Class A, that potential champion-elect. And Schwari being absent today the championship leader means that Lauer, Hayes, and Stokes can absolutely eat into his lead by a considerable margin. Minahan still fourth, followed by Gervais, Klapzul, Patolo, Markovic. And Dean Reimers has just made his way past James Gill into the points again. Gill must have had a moment, because of course he was right on the back of Dule Markovic and Rick Martel. I see it. Markovic is also fallen back, so maybe a failed overtaking attempt by James Gill has delayed both cars. Patolo is up on the back of Mark Klapzul. I wonder if his team has informed him that Klapzul, who gave Mike Magasevich a very hard ride earlier in the race, might be facing a penalty. We'll have to see if he decides to go for it hard, because realistically the top 5 seems to be out of reach of him without some level of mistake from the top 5, because he is 9 seconds, about 8-9 seconds behind 5th place. So he's really just racing to get past Klapzul, who goes wide and makes it rather academic. Grant Patolo moving up in his 6th position. Looks like Klapzul has retained position over the McLaren of Rick Martel, though. Wesley Stokes still looking for a way around Alex Hayes, but he's dropped back a little bit now, maybe conserving the tires a little bit. There we have Rick Martel in the number 99 McLaren 650S all over the back of Mark Klapzul's Callaway C7 Corvette. Now, unlike Patolo, there's no real sit behind this car and hope for a penalty, because you want to get up with Grant Patolo and challenge him. Patolo did not qualify well and has had some moments in this race where he's not done terribly well as well. Rick Martel is looking for a run around the outside. Klapzul has gone defensive. McLaren versus Corvette. A little bit of contact. Side by side to turn 1. Both men hold it. And Klapzul's going to retain the position, and this is just playing in the hands of Dule Markovic back there in 9th place. His Artemis Porsche is catching both of these cars quite rapidly, and you know he wants to get past Klapzul. Klapzul represents a spot in the Silver Cup right now, currently 2nd in the Silver Cup behind Stefan Gervais, the 5th place car right now. Silver Cup full rundown is Gervais, Klapzul, Markovic, Reimers, Gill, and Magasevich in this race. The last place finisher of the Silver Cup right now, Magasevich, would not score points. And that is a major, or would he? Never mind. They will. There are only six Silver Cup cars. It means all the Silver Cup cars are guaranteed to score points here today. But the amount that they score is still very key. Markovic is the leader in the championship. Klapzul, not really a factor. He's had a bit of a weak season. He's historically been one of the strongest silver drivers in the field. A race winner, but has not really had a strong race season up until this point. But he is having a strong race today if he is not looking at a penalty for the overall contact with Magasevich. In the meantime, it is Wesley Stokes still all over the back of Alex Hayes. Hayes goes off! Hayes goes off! There was no contact between the... Take us back! Take us back! The cameraman has decided that this fight between Martel and Markovic, which is great, is more important than the battle for 2nd place. But it does look like Wesley Stokes has cleared Alex Hayes, but Hayes has somehow rejoined in 3rd place. Maybe not for long. Mark Minahan is looking to make a move into the first turn. Audi versus Mercedes. Here we go. Minahan has got the run, and he is through. Mark Minahan having a sterling day. Hayes trying to make a comeback, but cannot for now get himself back on the podium. Is still Gervais, Patolo, Klapzul, Martel, Markovic, and Reimers rounding off the points at the moment. No points for James Gill and Mike Magasevich, who are running at the tail end of the field. 33 and 41 seconds, respectively, off of the lead car of Martin Lauer. We're running down on time here. Martel is all over the back of that Corvette, and we know Klapzul is this bizarrely talented blocking driver, an amazingly defensive driver. He really fights on the absolute hard edge and makes it very difficult for you. And Grant Patolo is reaping the benefits right now, because while we talked about before, he was not really able to make a dent in the top 5, and he is not. He has actually lost time since getting clear of Klapzul. Roughly, he's about anywhere from 10 to 11 seconds behind Gervais. He is gaining quite a gap that if Martel gets through on Klapzul at this point, he's going to have to catch up to him, and it's about a 3-second gap now. And that's just growing lap after lap, turn after turn, as the Dutchman and the Canadian continue to fight over 7th place. But we have said that 6th place is cursed in this race because we've seen Mike Magasevich had problems and Martel had problems. Martel has gone off the track. Markovic has promoted himself into 6th place. He will take a run at the Dutchman. Reimers is up to 9th place. And Martel still struggling. He may lose out to James Gill. James Gill really would love that points-paying position for Gemini with his 2 teammates up in 3rd and 5th place. He's really kind of the outside man right now, but he goes wide there. That is not going to help him in his quest for that final points-paying position. Mike Magasevich is the other car running, of course. Not really a factor at this point. He's about almost 10 seconds behind. I doubt that he can bring himself into play in the remaining 2.5 minutes here. James Gill looking for an inside run. He cannot get it. It is Audi versus McLaren. We have not seen a lot of Audi on McLaren fighting this season. Rick Martel gets it very wrong heading into the chicane. He goes very straightforward through it, and that is going to give that final points-paying position to the Aussie James Gill. In fact, Martel is gonna basically end up fighting Mike Magasevich now for 11th place. That is really a meaningless fight because, of course, Martel is a gold-rated driver and not in the Silver Cup with Magasevich. James Gill, though, into the points, currently sitting on reverse grid pole for race 2. It would be an all-Aussie front row, all-Audi front row with Gill and Reimers. Martin Lauer continues to lead the way. I think it's safe to say that he is, without putting the commentator's curse on him, on his way to a victory. Mark Minahan is actually starting to shine late in this race. I don't know if it's the Mercedes have lost their tires. Maybe they haven't been able to keep it as fresh on the long run. But Minahan is actually all over the back of Wesley Stokes down, looking for 2nd place. Would love to get Gemini up to 2nd place and show Dynamo Lynx, the Audi team Martin Lauer runs for, that there are other Audis in the field that are a little bit of a threat. Hayes is in 4th place, followed by the Silver Cup leader Stefan Gervais. Then it's Botolo, Klapzul, Markovic, Reimers, and Gill. I thought that Markovic would have more of a run at Klapzul. And as I say that, the gap did close right there, but the Porsche doesn't seem to really have the edge that I thought it was going to have on the Callaway here. Mark Klapzul is pretty firmly entrenched in 7th place right now. We are running it down here. We'll probably have one more lap after this one, as I'm pretty sure Lauer will cross the line before the clock hits 0. Mark Minahan still putting the pressure on. Wesley Stokes looking for his best finish this season. I think this may be Minahan's first podium of the season, actually. Flashing the headlights, doing anything he can do to distract the Falcon Autosports driver. But we are on the final lap now for most of the car. Well, half the cars. Batola was, I believe, started the final lap. We have a look at Dule Markovic closing on the back of Mark Klapzul, but he hasn't made a firm, committed attempt to pass him as of yet. Still in the lead is Martin Lauer. I think it's pretty safe to assume he can bring it home as long as he doesn't run out of fuel here on the last lap. Mark Minahan is all over the back of Wesley Stokes, so 2nd place is far from settled. And Alexander Hayes is not too far away. He could pounce on these if things come to tears. Gervais is the top Silver Cup man in 5th place, followed by Patolo, Klapzul, Markovic, Reimers, and Gill. Mike Magasevich has managed to leave Rick Martel in the dust, which makes me wonder if perhaps the McLaren 650S has sustained a little bit of damage and is being a little bit of a handful to drive. It doesn't look like he has overall the pace problem. You see the gap there towards the leader is not overly changing, but it does seem like he's perhaps struggling to stay on the track on a consistent basis. In the meantime, Minahan looks like he cannot make the pass, but Dule Markovic is trying his damnedest to get that 7th place away from Mark Klapzul. Markovic is having a fantastic season. He's emerged as truly one of the front-end guys, not today, but overall in the season, and it would be a big deal for him to get past the Dutchman. In the meantime, Martin Lauer is heading towards the end here. He's in the final sector of the lap. It should be an easy victory for him. He continues to be the man to beat around Suzuka, and it is going to be 2nd place for Wesley Stokes, I think. But mind you, we have the chicane to go. That's the last big overtaking opportunity you have on the track. But it looks like he got through that clean. Markovic is still trying to get around Klapzul, by the way. Lauer has won the race from Wesley Stokes. Coming across the line third is Mark Minahan from Alex Hayes. Stefan Gervais will take pretty easily at 5th place ahead of Grant Patolo. But the battle for 7th is not over yet. Although, as I say that, they made it through the chicane with Klapzul still in front. So it's going to be Mark Klapzul in 7th place, possibly facing a penalty. Dule Markovic in 8th place. Dean Reimers will come across the line in 9th place. It should have been more for him. He was running in a comfortable 6th at one point. And the final points being position will go to James Gill. In the late stages, it looks like Rick Martel did, in fact, catch up with Mike Magasevich, but they will finish 11th and 12th. That was simply a battle for 11th on the grid for the second race. There is a look at the finals standings and gaps as you can see it. Audi with a strong outing, but Mercedes on the podium and with a car in 4th place as well. So it is not just the car that is dominating here at Suzuka. But I would still say Audi is the car to be in at this track right now. They seem to just have an innate speed